Well, welcome to our first episode of NFL Fantasy Matchup. Here we go again, 2025-2026 season. We are having two leagues and we are back with our keepers, draft talk, everything like that as usual. Jimmy is over in Phoenix and Jed is over in the suburb of Illinois. How are you?
Great to see you guys. And this is year six, right?
I forgot how many years it
I think
was.
it's year
Yeah.
six. Can you believe that?
No, I can't
Um,
believe the off season is almost over, right?
yeah.
Because a couple of weeks ago, I just started paying attention. I was like, oh, I forgot which team has which player now, and I just started catching up with it. But that off season went fast.
Hey, before we start with all of our draft pre-talks, we're going to talk about running backs, and then next week we're going to talk about wide receiver. What is your favorite memory of Ryan Sandberg since he just passed away yesterday? Jed, I'll start with you.
Oh, favorite memory. I mean, I just think of all the double plays he's turned with Sean Dunston and
Yeah.
but I mean, being here in the northern suburbs of Illinois, of Chicago, and he's a big presence out here, and he's just a guy who, at least from my perspective, and I don't know him at all, but his his legacy here is as good as you would hope. Like every person I met that knows him has said he is an amazing guy, does a lot in the community, and is just a really good guy. So like that, I think is something that his family can really take pride in.
Yeah.
Jim.
The 1989 Cubs, Jed was I would say one of my all-time favorite teams. I think that was when I really started becoming interested in sports. And so Grace, Dawson, Sandberg, Dunston, I mean, I can name you everyone from that 89 Cubs team, including all the relievers. And that was before like free agency started like affecting baseball. So, I mean, I remember how much I loved that team and how much I loved watching them in those playoffs that year.
Oh yeah, you literally had Jerome Walton, then Ryan Sandberg always hit second. Mark Grace would come third, Andre Dawson, and then Sean Dunston, and you had Luis Salazar or Domingo Ramos or Kurt Wilkerson, Lloyd
Ooh.
McClendon, and all those guys.
Yeah, those were good years. That was when you actually knew these teams before
Yeah.
free agency changed everything.
Yep. And also, a lot of times you remember the 1984 game. I think a lot of us were still young, but that really was his coming out party as well too. He then retired for a few years and came back. He wasn't always the same, but yet at the same time, you loved him. You loved him and Dawson, Grace, and Dunston. You always remember them on the Cubs team.
Mhm. You ever think how old we are now, though? Because those guys were when we were growing up, they were at their heyday. Now all of a sudden,
Yep.
I'm like, oh wow, they're all old. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, hey, here we are. A lot of times talking about running backs as well too. I'm going to start with you as well too.
Yep.
Last year's number one draft pick is nowhere near the top of anyone's draft pick. Maybe he's in the third round. Christian McCaffrey. What do you think of Christian McCaffrey this year?
So I hate to say this because I think I've said on here how I've stayed away from McCaffrey because of the injury risk, and just it's kind of played out that way. But man, I am very tempted this year
To
because
grab him.
to grab him because there is no way he is third round talent. Like no way. And I it would not surprise me one bit if he didn't end the year top 10. And so I not just top 10 running back, like top 10 overall. So I
Hmm.
I think if you get a chance at him in the second round, man, I would jump at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Jed, if you remember, a lot of times he had that injury-plagued season in Carolina. Then from that point on, Carolina gives up on him, trades him to San Francisco, and he is amazing for the last 2 years in San Francisco, probably before last year.
I mean, there just aren't that many players. To me, again, the trifecta you need for running backs, you need carries, you need a strong team. Like, you need a team that not only a strong line, but you need a team that's going to score points. And you put then, and of course, then the longevity. You put those three together, and it's like, man, there's very, very few running backs who get all those opportunities and can score touchdowns. So, man, he's someone that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jim, a lot of times, even as you're looking at running backs as well too, who are you looking at as the first number one running back on your board?
I think everyone's going to pick up B. John Robinson. I think right now he's projected to go either second or third, most likely after Jamar Chase. And so I think B. John Robinson from the Falcons is pretty high up there. I think the other person that everyone's funny enough is paying attention to, Ashton Genty from the Raiders. He's most likely going to be the number two running back, and then you'll go at Jameer Gibbs, right? So if I was picking, because I've done a couple of these mock drafts, I think for me, Bijan goes one, Jamar Gibbs goes two, and then Genty goes three. That's how I'm looking at it.
So I have a different top five, but one thing, did you guys see the interview with Bijan or Bajan, and they asked him how he pronounces his name, and it's not Bijan, it's Bajan. So I was like, we gotta make sure we follow that. So for me, you didn't mention Barkley, and I think Saquon, like, obviously it's hard to repeat, it's hard to, can't expect necessarily the same kind of numbers, but his numbers jump out to me, and I think it's tough to have him outside of the top three in my mind. And I get it. I know that it's
they worked him so hard last year, right? Like he was their work, and usually right after the year that these running backs have their best season and they work up, they have this cliff that they just drop off, right?
Yeah.
And so that's why for me, I'm like, I'd rather go for the Gibbs and the Genty before I go after the Barkley.
Yeah, Gibbs is hard. I agree with you on Gibbs, and I do like Bajan. But the other person I would mention is Derrick Henry, because everyone wants the drop-off, but someone like Henry, maybe Barkley can do it too, there is a drop, but it's not this off the cliff. It's just a slow descent. And so I think those are the guys in my head that I want to pay attention to.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, but seriously, you guys are forgetting someone like a Breece Hall. What do you guys think of Breece Hall, Jed?
Oh, I'm not forgetting. I think I'm just still worried about the Jets figuring out what is going on with their offense. But, I mean, I've got him around in the third round, so somewhere between 11 to 14, like somewhere in there. And, yeah, I mean, to me, if you're getting him in the third round, that's not bad.
Go ahead.
No, I'm actually surprised because I've actually seen him projected to go later, like at least the fourth and fifth round, right? So he would go after guys like Joe Mixon. He would be after guys like Kenneth Walker, James Cook, even Alvin Kamara. And I actually think Breece Hall is a pretty good running back. I mean, if he's there in the third and fourth round, I'm going to take him. I just don't think that he's technically supposed to go that low.
The one guy you mentioned that we all like, Kenny Walker, man. Come on. Kenny Walker, like that guy we've always said, if he can stay healthy in Seattle, again, you get that trifecta where he's getting the carries, he's a workhorse, he can get the touchdowns. Man, Kenny Walker to me is a good sleeper kind of pick. And I agree with you. He's right around that Breece Hall range, like right in there.
Yeah, especially with the fact that Kenny Walker, there's not that many players left. The only one there is Njigba. Everyone else they've traded away or got rid of. And look, Kenny Walker, if he can stay healthy, has a wonderful, wonderful chance of success.
Well, no, I agree with you because think about Sam Darnold's the starting quarterback, right? Smith and Jigba is the starting wide receiver. Enigma is still pretty young. Darnold still, I think, he's got one good year, but he's still going to be improving. They're going to try to relieve some pressure off those two and feed Kenneth Walker the ball. My only hesitation is he going to do is because he always gets injured at some point during the middle of that season for a number of games, and is Charbonnet going to take over, right? So that's my only hesitation is if it comes down to it, am I going to go after guys like a Kenneth Walker, or am I going to go after a Breece Hall or Chase Brown, or even somebody like an RJ Harvey, that running back out of Denver? Like, those are the questions that I'm asking.
Well, in Seattle, too, I'm worried about the offense. Just, are they going to score as many touchdowns as they have before? So that's another big thing to me. I really pay attention to, for running backs, offense getting a lot of touchdowns, because you got to get those touchdowns to be worth it. Tommy, I'm thinking you want to talk about your friend Chuba Hubbard. Come on, because I think Carolina, to me, last year I was saying do not touch any Carolina players. This year I feel like they're getting better and better, getting stronger. This might be a year to open that up and say, hey, take a running back in Carolina, you might get some points.
More so, I kind of want to talk about the very fact that my wife knew that I was recording, and she went to McDonald's and got me a Oreo McFlurry.
Oh, what a
Oh,
wonderful
look at
wife.
that.
See,
So, see, okay. I mean, here's a couple players I'm looking at this year, right? If you're looking
Actually,
at,
before you do, Jim, can I ask you one thing?
yeah,
Before you were talking about Ashton Genty, if you were in a mock draft in the keeper league, how much
Ooh.
are you spending on Ashton Genty this year?
oh,
You
Genty's
see one of
going to
those
be
guys
high up there.
receiving
Yeah,
$100.
Genty, I think last year, who spent $80? Somebody, one of us spent pretty high for I forgot who it was, but
Marvin Harrison. I
$80.
blew my budget
Yes,
on
Marvin
Marvin
Harrison. Yes.
Yep.
Are you keeping
Look,
Marvin
let me-
Harrison this year?
If we were doing 5, I would think about it. But since we're only doing 4 keepers, I don't
You
think he's gonna
spent
make it.
$80 on Marvin Harrison. You're not going to keep him?
Dude, I don't know. I think he's gonna have. I will say, I think he's gonna have a better second year. I think he's gonna bounce back. Last year was not as good as what Clearly, it should have been Neighbors, but I don't know. I don't think I can hold him.
Side note, I know a lot of times we're talking about football, but hey, look, you're the guy who spent over $100 on Victor Wembanyama.
And I have not regretted that one bit, dude. Wembanyama is the man. Like I love
yeah.
having Victor Wembanyama.
I do think a couple years from now I can see Genty being the top running back that's selected because I actually think he's that good.
Yeah. Jim, and the reason I asked that, I'm very tempted spending a lot of money on Genty. Look at my keeper in terms of wide receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, Brian Thomas. I'm sitting there, oh my gosh, and I have Brock Bowers as my tight end. Might as well spend everything I have on Ashton
Wait,
Genty.
who's the fourth person you got?
Brock Bowers.
Oh, was it Brock Bowers? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
that's
got a
Brian
good-
Thomas,
Tommy's got a
Brock
pretty good team.
Bowers,
Yeah, he's got a
Justin
pretty-
Jefferson, and Jamar
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah, he's got a good team. Yeah, so I could see why he's gonna spend a lot of money on that running back because now he's got the anchor running back
Yep.
that he can go in every year with those top 4 players. So
Yeah. Sorry, go ahead in terms of what we were talking about, in terms of running backs as well, too.
yeah,
Chuba Hubbard and all those
see,
guys.
see, here's my thing, right? Like going with the Chuba Hubbard. Some people think Bucky Irving might be good. Some people think that James Cook. I actually the players that I think this year is going to go underrated. DeAndre Swift. Like Jed, you were saying that you saw him this today at training camp. I actually think he's going to be pretty good. Travion Henderson, I think is going to be good this year. And then also, don't give up on Isaiah Pacheco because I think last year, like when he came back, everyone thought that he was slower, but he was injured. So I think for me, Swift, Henderson, Pacheco, and even somebody like an RJ Harvey, who I said with Denver, those are the players I'm looking at to round out my running backs.
So I was at Bears training camp this morning. I don't know if anyone caught the reel. I tried to do a reel on our Facebook post.
Yeah.
It was, what I was telling the guys was the running back crew, seeing them work, just the quickness coming out of their positions. I think it's a really strong group. That's my only fear, though. So it's Swift. You've got Roshan Johnson. You've got the kid out of Rutgers, our 7th-round pick, Kyle. And I don't know how they're going to split the carries there. And Roshan Johnson, remember, everyone was so high on him. Last year was really did not end necessarily great, but people are high on him again in training camp, and you could see it. Like the guy has got good feet, quick out, good hands, and so I just worry that Swift is going to lose some carries to these guys behind him.
Yeah. Well, then a lot of times with the Bears is look at their depth chart. They have so many wide receivers. They have Roma Dunze. They have DJ Moore. They have 2 tight ends. All of these guys. There's a lot of different mouths to feed over there. Luther Burden's really good. Man, they're really good. Colston Loveland, I hear, is doing outstanding as a tight end.
Loveland had a great catch today, like a toe pointer where he bounced up and grabbed it at the top point of his jump. It looks pretty amazing. So I agree with you. There's a lot of mouths to feed, but man, I'll also tell you this: Odunze, having gone last year and this year, last year Odunze looked like a rookie. Man, this year he looked like a vet. Like he had a presence to him, and he looked solid.
Yeah, I actually think that. DJ Moore is still number 1, but I do think that Odunze is somebody that you want to monitor, especially in some of these keeper leagues.
Yeah. Jim, in terms of running back, Jed and Jim, the one person you're going to see that I'm going to be picking a lot just because I love their offensive line and I love Jim Harbaugh Omarion Hampton from North Carolina. Always the Chargers. We saw it with J.K. Dobbins. They have a
Yep.
great offensive line. Omarion Hampton, I am all excited about him for this year. He's the
Okay.
guy I'm picking a lot.
I
Okay,
like
so
that.
let me ask you, going with that, all right? Here's the top rookies, and let's take out Genty, right? Hampton from the Chargers, Harvey from Denver, Judkins from Cleveland, Caleb Johnson from Pittsburgh, and Travion Henderson from New England. Who do you think is going to be the top running back out of that group?
Omarion Hampton.
Yeah.
I like the Trayvon Henderson in because the Patriots always do so well with whatever
Yeah.
running back is there,
I-
and then
I-
I like the guy in Denver, because again Denver's scheme it's like Seattle. They always produce. There's always good numbers there. So those are the two I would go to.
No, I disagree with you. The reason why R.J. Harvey's not going to do well, J.K. Dobbins is his backup.
Okay.
Did
Fair.
you guys hear what happened with J.K. Dobbins? So R.J. Harvey was the number one running back that they were going to push. And then as the summer went on, they were talking about this on ESPN. As the summer went on, they kept saying, J.K. Dobbins is still out there. You know, like, how come no one's picked him up? And so they just eventually just picked him up because they were like, there's no way that we can just leave him out there. But I do think that he will have a direct effect on R.J. Harvey because I think he's going to push, at least early on, he's going to push for him for carries.
I mean, look at the Houston Texans. I'm so frustrated. Joe Mixon, but you also have Nick Chubb. This is crazy. And Damian Pierce is still on that team.
Yeah, you know. I know every year we talk about this, but I'm going to bring it up again because I do think that this year would be an interesting year to pursue the strategy. Top wide receivers in the first couple of rounds, towards the latter, pick up a good quarterback, and later on, you finish it up with Caleb Johnson, a Travion Henderson, a Pacheco, a Judkins, you know, and then you gamble on the fact that these rookies are going to help you win the playoffs. That's really what I'm going to push for this year.
All right, guys, mark that down. That's Jimmy's strategy, and mark me down saying I would not do that at all. There's no way. For me, this year, the key marker of the draft is the depth at wide receiver. There is such good wide receiver depth. Why would you pick there first? Like, to me, what I'm worried about is running back. So I gotta load up on running back within the first two.
If you had the number one pick, you're gonna go after a running back before you're gonna go after a wide receiver.
100%.
Really? No way.
100%.
I will be
100%.
going after running back.
Yeah,
I will be going
100%.
after running
I would
back.
not pick Justin Jefferson or Jamar Chase number one. No, I'm definitely going running back. The depth of wide. Look, we're going to talk about wide receivers next in the next session, and you're going to see, man, there are good wide receivers in round 4, round 5. Like, you can get solid people, and that's not the case with running back.
Jamar Chase is too good to pass up, especially with his quarterback passing to him, who had
Joe
an
Burrow.
amazing
Joe Burrow.
Yeah. Jamar Chase, you cannot. I mean, Bijan is right afterwards. Jahmyr Gibbs. I just don't think Saquon Barkley is going to be the same as he is. I'm going to go after the Amon-Ra St. Browns, the Puka Nakuas, the Malik Neighbors first. I'm going to go after
No,
those guys.
Jim, I am seriously going after Bijan Robinson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Saquon Barkley. Those are my 1, 2, 3.
You know, here's when we do auction, I'm gonna keep hiking it up on you guys, and then watch them and be like, crap, I didn't want these guys anyways.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, on a separate note, as much as I sit there and love Omari Hampton, you know who his backup is, right? Najee Harris.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yes.
wow.
No, but he's got
I
an
didn't know
injury.
that.
He's got an eye injury.
Oh.
So you don't know
Yeah,
what's going
but
on
yeah,
with
at the
him.
same time, he'll probably come back. I mean, there's still a long way. So Najee Harris is the backup for that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, at the same time, oh, go ahead.
I think Hampton will be good. I do think. I mean, and we'll talk about wide receivers in the next episode, but I think Ladd McConkey is going to be the guy on San Diego that you want to pursue. So
Oh, he
for
is
me,
definitely going to be the one.
Yeah, McConkey's who I want to pursue on that team. Hampton's okay, right? Like, I think if I miss on the Hampton, I've got other people I want, but McConkey's the guy I want on that team.
Jed, I'll start with you. Who's your sleeper for running backs for this year?
Ooh, sleeper. See, I think sleeper is we got to define what we mean by sleeper, like how deep. I will say one guy, again, this is no surprise to anyone who's ever listened to this show. I like James Conner, man. I do not think he gets the credit that he deserves. Solid player. You can get him in probably late, at most late third, maybe even into the fourth. Connor to me is a solid pick at running back. Not a sexy pick, but a solid pick.
And out of everyone last year, in terms of goal line carries, David Montgomery was number 1 at 9. James
Yep.
Conner is number 8.
Yep, exactly. Like, and again, it's a trifecta because you got to have durability, you've got to have goal line carries, you've got to have touchdowns, high scoring offense. He clicks all those. One of the things we didn't say is who are you avoiding amongst the running backs? And let me just say, because I got burned by him, is I am not taking Jonathan Taylor in Indianapolis. I am not touching Indianapolis. I don't care how high. Some people have him as high as 5, 6, 7. I'm not touching that guy.
Well, I also think that there's so much uncertainty with Indianapolis, right? Who is really the quarterback? Is it Richardson or is it Daniel Jones, right? Like, neither of them have separated themselves a little bit. And I think they've tried to improve in terms of, like, receivers and all of that stuff. But you're right. Jonathan Taylor is just so inconsistent.
No, the problem in Indianapolis is the 2 new owners, who are the daughters of Jim Irsay, are insisting on putting their headphones on and listening to all the play calls. That is crazy.
Yes, that was that was insane. I read that too.
Here's the player that I don't know what to do with, right? Jonathan Taylor for sure I'll avoid. Achane seems to be going really high.
I thought Tommy was going to be on this guy. Come on, Tommy.
He's injured too much.
Yeah, I don't like Achane. I am trying to stay away from him. Yeah.
But
Okay.
Jim, who's his backup, though?
Achane's back up?
Yep.
I don't know.
Alexander Madison.
Oh, is it really?
Oh,
Alexander
wow.
Madison, yeah.
From
That's a good
Minnesota.
backup.
That is a good backup.
Yep.
Well,
I'm saying, wow, Alexander Madison, that's a good one. I can see them giving him the red zone carries.
Yeah, I agree with staying away from Achane too, but I do think the Dolphins are due for a bounce back. I know last year was tough. That's why I'm still banking on my guy Tyreek Hill. Early little, shout out.
I still think, but the problem with the Dolphins is so much of it revolves around Tua, right?
Yep.
And so you don't know what's going to happen to Tua. And we saw it last year. The first game he did really well, right? Tyreek, you got all those guys doing really well. And then once he left, they all went downhill. And so for me, it's hard for me to really like select one of those. Even though Tyreek is going really low in mock drafts, it's hard for me to trust him.
Yeah. No, that's for me like it's almost like calling him a sleeper, basically. But that's for our next episode. We'll talk about wide receivers.
Well, the guy that I really am hesitant about is Alvin Kamara, because a lot of times, look, New Orleans is going to be terrible. So at what point are they going to just forget about him and then go to Keandre Miller as well, too? So I'm looking at him as someone that I want to draft as well, too.
Yeah. There's 3 running backs I want to ask you guys about because they come right in the middle of the drafts, and I'm not really sure whether or not I want to trust them and pick them, right? So it's
White.
Bucky Irving, Kyron Williams, James Cook, and Joe Mixon, who all did pretty good last year.
Williams.
I knew you were going to say Kyron Williams. You've always been that guy.
Yep.
Yeah. I did not like Bucky Irving last year, but I think that was a mistake. And so I think Tampa, you gotta pay attention there. So to me, of that group you just mentioned, Bucky Irving, I think that's not a bad pick.
Well, okay, so did you know Bucky Irving had 1,100 yards, which is more than Joe Mixon, more than James Cook, more than Kenneth Walker, And then Derrick Henry, if you look at it, he got 1,900 yards, which is crazy. I don't think that guy's repeating that again. But
but Henry's still awesome. I love Henry. I am a huge Henry fan, so I still think he's. For me, I've got Henry still in top 5. So I think he's a stud. I am Joe Mixon. To me, that's a guy I never liked, and even now, I just still not a huge fan.
Not with Chubbs, not with all those guys sitting there. No.
Yeah, we didn't talk about Brown in Cincinnati.
Brown or James Cook, or even Josh Jacobs.
Yeah. I actually like Brown in Cincinnati. I think that he became the number one. He's still got a couple guys behind him that are intriguing, like P. Ryan and Zach Moss. Zach Moss, I think, can kind of push him a little bit, but Chase Brown really came. I mean, he's a former Illini, and he came pretty alive towards the end.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati is due, hopefully, for a better start. I don't know. I've been watching, Joe, Cool Joe, on the Netflix special, and so
Yeah.
feel bad for them.
Well,
Yeah.
going back to what Tommy said about Alvin Kamara. Think about it. Alvin Kamara is going around the same time as Amari and Hampton, a Brees Hall, a James Conner, an R.J. Harvey, a DeAndre Swift, and I much rather trust like a lot of those guys than in a Kamara.
Hey, what do you guys think about Aaron Jones or the two old guys, Josh Jacobs, Aaron Jones?
Josh Jacobs is in a good situation.
Yeah, I think Josh
in
Jacobs is
Green
good. Yeah,
Bay,
yeah.
he's got a great situation. I mean, again, it's still going to be a strong team. They're still going to score points. Got to have someone to punch it in.
Yeah.
And Josh Jacobs, I mean, think about his heydays in Vegas. This guy was a stud. So
Yeah. And you know who the backup to Aaron Jones is, who I think will take carries away from him? Jordan Mason from San Francisco.
oh yeah, San
I
Francisco.
look, if I'm going to gamble and find someone towards the end of the draft that could potentially help me, Jordan Mason may be, because remember how well he did in San Francisco. He's somebody I'm really paying attention to.
Wasn't he the one that had that like 245-yard game one
Yeah,
time and
he
just
did.
like burst out? Yeah.
But at the same time, the backup to San Francisco, Isaac Correndo was very good last year at times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, look, if we believe that McCaffrey is going to be as good as he is, I'm going to gamble on McCaffrey and not go after Garendo. But that's a gamble as well, too.
Handcuff strategy. We got to talk
Yeah.
handcuff strategy.
You know who's really fallen, though? Travis Etienne. Remember what? Like, just a
Oh,
couple years
yeah.
ago? That guy was going so hard. What? He's not. He's like towards the end of some of these rounds.
Well,
now.
the Jags have just, I don't know, they have fallen
Yeah.
off. Their offense is stuck. So
Mm-hmm.
that might be a team that I would say this year I might want to completely avoid. That might be one of them.
Except
Yeah,
Brian
yeah.
Thomas.
Okay, except Brian Thomas.
Yeah.
Except Brian. Even Trevor
Yeah.
Lawrence, who was seen as his next great quarterback, just disappoints all the time.
Yeah, agree.
Okay, hey, okay, Carolina. I'm reading about this right now. Let me tell you the three running backs for Carolina: Hubbard, Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle, and Trevor Etienne. They're actually
Trevor
decent running
Etienne.
backs. Trevor,
Trevor
not
Etienne,
Travis.
not
but Trevor
Travis.
Etienne, right?
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to trust the Hubbard this year because of those two.
Oh,
I don't
Rico
know.
Dowdle, he did great for Dallas. He did a very, very good job for Dallas.
I don't think
Yeah.
he did that great with Dallas. You guys have selective
I
memory.
he
He did.
did pretty
He did
good.
really good.
Yeah, he did pretty good.
No,
By the way, who
I'm
is Dallas's running back these days? I
I'm
don't
taking
know.
Chuba Hubbard, man. Dallas's
Really?
running back is Zeke Elliott.
No,
He's
no,
really
he's
running
gone.
back.
Jaden
I know,
Blue.
I'm kidding.
Jaden Blue is a
No,
rookie.
no. You know who the Dallas running back is? Tommy's favorite, Javante Williams.
Hey, there you go, Tommy. There's
Javante
your draft
Williams
pick.
is the Dallas running back.
There you go.
I do love my Javante Williams.
You guys know that the Dallas Cowboys valuation is higher than Real Madrid and all those soccer teams. The Dallas Cowboys is worth more than any of the soccer teams out there. Did you know that?
I can see that.
That
Yeah.
blew me away. I thought for sure the soccer
Yeah.
teams would be worth more, but nope.
Actually, Javante Williams. I just saw. Can you imagine? Last year he did what? 500 yards, 4 touchdowns. I actually think he can do better this year with Dallas. He might be good as like a RB3, RB4 towards the end.
Okay, let's go on this Rico Dowdle thing, all right? Jed, the last 5 games in the weeks for Dallas. 18 carries, 131 yards. 25 carries, 149 yards. 13 carries now, 23 yards. But the last 23 carries, 104, 22, 72. Not bad, not bad.
That's not bad, but Dallas was playing for nothing basically, and I don't know. I'm not Dallas to me this year. Boy, I have a hard time trusting. I know that offense is always, and I know what's his face. Dak Prescott is back, but I don't know. I have a hard time trusting the points coming out of that system.
Yeah. Hey, the one person that you guys, I know a lot of times you guys are talking about the rookie running back over New England, and Travion Henderson did a very good
Yeah.
job. But what about the other one, that Ramondre Stevenson? You guys haven't talked about him.
Nope. I think
Yeah,
I think Henderson's going to replace him by the end of the season as the number one running back.
I mean, I liked Ramadre last year. I didn't he got hurt a little bit, right? Like he had that
Hmm.
run and then he got hurt.
And he fumbles quite a lot. He always gets benched
Yes.
for fumbling.
Yes. Yeah, but I did like him prior to that. I think New England, and my oldest son is a huge fan, and so I'm probably a little bit influenced by him. I do think they're not as bad as people think. A lot of people think New England is going to be horrible. I think they might sneak up on some folks there.
Yeah.
Um, hey, as we begin to wrap up this conversation for rookie running backs, any last and final thoughts on your end?
I say don't sleep, and I want to pronounce his name wrong, right? And Jed saw him today. I actually think the running back from the Bears, Kyle Menange
Yeah,
from
that's
Rutgers,
right. Yes, from
actually
Rutgers.
could be pretty good, right? Because I think DeAndre Swift will be the running back that's going to do well at the beginning. Roshan's not going to be the running back. They might go after this guy. He might actually end up being the number one running back potentially towards the end of the season. So I was like, don't, forget about that guy.
I love that, and I again, just to my untrained naked eye,
Yeah.
he was the fastest guy out there of the
Was he?
running back
Yeah.
group. He was the
Yeah.
fastest and the quickest. The like his in and out of his breaks, his in and out of his cuts. Just he clearly to me seemed like the
Yeah.
superior athlete. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
And for me, a lot of times, if you're sitting there toward the end of the draft and you're trying to look for players, pay attention to Tajay Spears, because Tony Pollard over at Tennessee, they're unsexy. Tony Pollard is going to be starting, but Tajay Spears might emerge out of that group.
Yeah. No, okay, but that's okay, that's a big thing for me, right? Like if you're towards the end and you have let's say one or two picks left and you're in a dynasty league, I think I much rather go after a rookie running back like the one with the Bears than the Tajay Spears, right? Because this we kind of know where Spears is going to end up being. He's most likely never going to be that number one running back, but I do think that the Bears could if you pick a couple of these rookie ones, they could end up being the number one running back at some point.
Yeah.
Except the only thing is, we saw the whole last year, Chuba Hubbard. Nobody thought anything about Chuba Hubbard. Look how well he did.
Yeah, I do think
Yeah.
Pacheco is going to be this year's Chuba Hubbard. I think a lot of people are going
Hmm.
to pass on him, and he's going to end up doing really well.
Oh no,
Interesting.
I definitely disagree. Isaiah
Really?
Pacheco is not going to do well. It's Rasheed Rice. They're going to throw everything and concentrate on Rasheed Rice, and that will be what we will
No,
be talking about.
I think that the wide receiver you're going to go after is not Rasheed Rice. It's Xavier Worthy. That's who they're going to focus on. But I do think I think they're going to be a better offense, and Pacheco needs to be good in order for them to be an offense. So that's one of the reasons why mid round comes around towards the end. I'll pick up a Pacheco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing I like about the Bears pick about Kyle Monangi, or however you pronounce his last name, we gotta look that up. Remember, this is a rebuilt offensive line.
Yeah.
We have never seen these running backs behind this kind of an offensive line. People cannot forget that. Swift, as much as you want to say the Bears were horrible last year, Swift still produced behind a
Yeah.
horrible line. So now what? Now that we've got
Yeah.
three new starters, what happens? So I think that's not a bad. Of course, we're drinking the Kool-Aid in
Yeah.
Chicago.
By the
here,
way,
but-
Jed, I really hope Caleb Williams doesn't suck. That would be they would have wasted a number one pick on that guy, But I
Yeah.
just don't think I don't know if he can live up to the expectations.
I was telling the guys, I had to admit that when I watched him today, he just was not sharp. He missed a couple throws. I just don't expect that in a practice with, very little pressure to miss a throw. He missed two throws, one to Swift on a little out pattern and one to Loveland that he just overthrew. And I hate seeing that lack of sharpness. I still think he can be the guy. I do think, again, we have a new line. We got to give him a chance, but I hope that he and Ben Johnson really can somehow hit it off.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Hey, last thing, a lot of times I would say this, and then we'll go over the wide receivers a little bit. In terms of best offensive lines going into the season, the top rated ones are Philadelphia Eagles, Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos, Vikings, Chargers, and the Rams. The worst ones are Texans, Dolphins, Titans, Patriots, and Bengals are the worst offensive lines.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's why I'm surprised A-Chain is going so high, given the
Yeah.
fact that their offensive line is not that good, right? Even the Joe Mixon, and I think Joe Mixon did really well, but I'm surprised that Mixon and A-Chain is going so high.
I'm surprised the Patriots and the Bengals are that bad. I didn't
Yeah.
realize that. That's really good information.
The Bengals just keep throwing that sucker. That's all they're doing is
Yeah.
throwing that sucker.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. Thank you. We're going to come back next week and we're going to talk about wide receivers.
Great to see everyone.